Upsizing to a house, buying a bigger house that backs to the power lines or is next to the power lines is not your biggest issue. Your biggest issue is sizing to your dream home that it comes with a shocking surprise. And that is a skyrocketing utility bills that can put you at risk of losing your home or going through some financial pain. And let's be honest, no one talks about these hidden problems, especially real estate agents. But today, I'm going to expose the truth so that I can help you navigate these potential difficult waters. So let's go right in.
All of that hot weather is taking its toll on our utility bills as people try to stay cool. But there are things we can all do to help put the chill on your AC bill.
First thing you have to do is understand the utilities of your new home, the bigger house. So you see, size matters, right? A square footage matters. So you really need to understand the square footage of your house and the type of cooling system that is installed and how big it is or how small it is for the square footage. So it's very important to understand those things, because what if you live in a 5,000 square feet home and you only have a 1 ton or 1.5 ton air conditioning unit or heating unit? So what happens is that unit is going to continue to work and work and work and work until the temperature you have set up in the thermostat comes where you want it. So that can create a overworking and just sucking into that power grid and energy bill. So that is a big issue in my opinion. You see, more rooms, more cost, right? It comes with the square footage. So just make sure that, do you really need to heat or cool down all the rooms in a new home, in a bigger house? So you need to understand those things. Another solution, it can be that maybe you have to put in the attic, you have to put attic fans so that can help you cool down the upstairs level or the top level, so that way you don't have to spend a lot of your energy cooling down main air conditioning. And let's be real, most of these big homes that we have nowadays, except because if you're buying something that is brand new, most likely these houses have older units, older systems in place that they don't meet the current standards when it comes to energy efficiency. So you got to be very careful with that, especially when you're doing the inspection, so you really know what are you getting 100%. Age and efficiency all come together. I recently made a video that don't buy these type of homes. I'm going to leave you right here the thumbnail for you to identify my playlist, that it says don't buy homes that are too old. Don't upsize to homes that are too old, because that can be a big problem down the road. So check out that video and let's continue here. So I'm going to give you some tips for when upsizing to a bigger house that can potentially help you monitor the cost of your utilities. Number one, let's touch on point number 2, energy efficiency and some tips for big houses. So one of the things that I always recommend my clients is to really invest in a invest in a smart thermostat. That is very important, because then you can control the temperature in the house, especially if you're going to be away. You can create routines in a lot of these thermostats, so then you can program them when you are out of the house, right? You leave the property, then you can actually set the thermostat. For example, the way I like it is when everybody leaves home in the morning, like around 8 or 9 a.m., I like my thermostat to increase maybe 1 or 2 degrees inside the house, heating or cooling. So that way I'm not really using unnecessary amounts of energy. Now, at the same time, I can program the thermostat that an hour before somebody arrives, then you can lower the temperature or increase it depending on the season of the year, so that you can really have the house the way you want it. Same happens when you go to sleep. Same happens when you're on vacation. And a lot of these smart thermostats nowadays are connected to the app, to your phone, that when you drive certain number of miles away from the house, then it goes to some kind of a schedule. When you approach the property with your smartphone, and the app understands that, it also gives it the immediate, okay, lower the temperature or increase it. Again, it all depends. That can really help you tremendously to modify the schedule inside the house. You see, the older thermostats did not allow you to do any of these things. You set it up at 74 because it was a manual setup, and you go out and work and it will stay 74 the whole day. And you are basically cooling or heating up a house that does not need to have that. You see, insulation and sealing those gaps around windows and doors are very important in my opinion. So you should really pay attention to your insulation. Pay for an energy efficiency assessment from a private company after you buy a bigger house. Just so they can come and tell you, you don't have to do it all at once, but you can do it exactly as you need it. Another good way to save is with energy efficient appliances. Let's be honest, appliances are getting better and better and better. I'm not necessarily saying cheaper, but they're really getting better when it comes to the things that you can do with it. Some of them are programmable, some of them are managed by an app, but a lot of them are very energy efficient. So when you get your bills, sometimes you want to check, at least for here in Montgomery County, Maryland, our bills actually tell us what kind of usage it is. So a certain amount of energy was dedicated to cooling or heating, another was dedicated for lights, or another was dedicated for your appliances. You want to check those things just to make sure that you have a clear understanding what it is. But energy efficient appliances is a must have when buying a bigger house. And of course, nothing will maintain by itself. You have to maintain those things within the schedule. So as soon as you buy your next house, your bigger home, go ahead and call your HVAC company, schedule an appointment so they can start coming and do a routinely yearly maintenance. Just don't call them as you need them. Get on some kind of contract with them because it's in your best interest. So when there is an emergency, they give you a priority. When there are all kind of other issues, you always become a priority. And sometimes you have discounts on parts and things of that nature. Always stack up some additional filters you can buy on Amazon for the kind of unit that you have. So that way you are prepared for whatever it comes. Maintenance is very important. This is good. This is my third point is comparing the cost before and after moving into the bigger home. Very important. Here in Montgomery County, we have the right as a purchaser, right, to receive from a seller, doesn't matter the type of property, as long as it's being owner occupied, receive the history of utilities for the last 12 months. That includes oil, gas, electricity. You have to have that information. So do request that information if available in your area. And by the way, drop off here in the comments, are the seller supposed to give you a disclosure about utility usage in your area, in your neck of the woods? Drop off here in the comment, let me know. So going back, having that information, it's important so that then you can do an assessment or before and after. I personally, when I bought my house, upsized to my house, I went ahead and changed all the light bulbs immediately when I bought it because I noticed they did not have the energy efficient LED type of light bulbs. Once I did that and the first invoice came from the electric company, I noticed a huge drop compared to the previous one. So then I said, okay, I'm really doing the right things here. And nowadays, let's be honest, those LED light bulbs are not that expensive. So I think you should really invest in something like that. Budgeting for a change, that is a very good idea for you to do, especially when upsizing to a bigger home, your dream home with your family. It's important for you to have all that information. So one thing I always tell people is maybe it's not a bad idea to negotiate what is called a home warranty from the previous owner when you're buying this place. That kind of gives you a little bit of peace of mind, knowing that maybe if something goes bad in the mechanical side of things in the house, you have a little bit of a backup plan versus going and put a claim against your insurance. You have something that can, maybe the first time they try to repair it, and then if nothing happens, they'll probably give you some kind of replacement cost for your device. But it's something for you to really think and keep in mind that you should do it. But always budget, put some money aside. You know, you always should have between 6 months and 12 months of living cost expenses set aside just in case something happens. Well, I think that you should do this because it's very important that doing these projects are very important, especially if you're going to have to replace windows, insulation, roof, doors, things of that nature are very, very important that you do them all. And as I said before, As soon as you start making these improvements, LED lights, smart thermostats, the smart appliances, checking, make sure there are no gaps, caulking, sealing, and those things, you should definitely notice some improvements. If you don't notice that, then you should probably contact one of these audit energy companies. They can come and do a whole audit for your house. I believe average cost is like around $399 to $599, depending on the size and location. But they can actually give you good tips on the things that you should be doing, so that way you can save. Now, this is a very renewable energy sources. This is a hot topic because a lot of people say, well, let's put solar panels. In my experience, solar panels are not necessarily 100% solution. I'm not saying they don't help you. All that I'm saying is they are not 100% a solution for your needs. So you really have to explore, interview more than one company, find out what are the pros and cons of leasing them for a period of time or buying them straightforward. Here in Maryland, I don't know in your area, but here in Maryland, if you lease the panels, they will go ahead and put a lien against the property. So just keep in mind, understand not only the structure, the installation, and the implication of these things, but also need to understand the legal complications if you later on wants to sell the house. What happens when you come and sell the house? Would you get your money back? Would you be able to transfer the remainder of the lease to the new purchaser? Those are things that I should really think you need to consider before going full-blown with the solar panels. Some people, they don't like them. They say they look horrible when you put solar panels on your roof. People hate it sometimes. Let me know in the comments, do you like how solar panels look like and it's more because of the savings, or do you really don't like how the houses look with those panels on top of it and don't care about the savings because who knows, right? Where you are, maybe electricity, it's not that expensive. Let me know here in the comments. You see, geothermal systems are very good because they can actually help you reduce. The problem with them, they're very pricey to buy and to install, and I think also in the maintenance. So geothermal it's a good solution. I don't know why the government has not been willing to invest more in geothermal rather than solar, but I know that's a good solution, but it's pricey though. So that's the only thing that I think it is not to anybody that can afford to go ahead and put geothermal stuff. But it's a good solution. I like it a lot. A lot of my clients that have put geothermal are very happy with it. So I think it's a good potential. And of course, if you qualify, there are some government incentives where you can probably get additional credits, discounts. I know at some point they were giving you a package of LED light bulbs for your house. It was like 100 or 150 for very cheap price, very discounted rate. So maybe that's something that you might still want to look if there are any of those things available for you in your area through the local or federal government. Another good point is balancing comfort and cost. You see, that's very important because you want to have comfort in your property. You want to feel like when winter, your house is in the 70s, and when it is summer, that you're probably in the 60s. So you want to have all those things, but you have to really take care of balancing those things without having to break your budget and your bank and your finances. Some of the lifestyle changes that can help you adjust a lot of these things. As I said, the thermostat is a great example. Installing one of these thermostats really can help you dramatically to reduce and balance that life comfort thing. The optimization of things, right? Like for example, I have those smart plugs connected to the lights in my living area. And after, 11 p.m., they all connected with Alexa, and then Alexa automatically turns them on and off depending what it is, and I adjust them accordingly. Same is with the light outside the house, in the backyard, in the deck. They're all connected to smart switches that kind of tells you when they should turn on and off, and you can change those things according to when, in summertime you have more daylight, you can make those lights turn on later. In the winter months, you can make them turn earlier. So it all depends what you really want, but that's stuff that you should do. And again, it's not going to break the bank. Some of those items, you can install them yourself. But if you want to go in that direction, buy all those devices and just have one electrician come one trip and do it all for you. Okay, strategies here. This is my last point to reduce your utility bills. I'm going to give you a few points here. Let me know if you agree with me or you disagree. Simple actions like unplugging things that you don't need can save you some money in the long run. So if you're not using it, unplug it. just because those things, just because it's plugged but not connected to something, it doesn't mean that it's not using electricity. So unplug what not using. If it's not needed, unplug it. Okay, the thermostat, set the schedule for thermostats. I just said it again, set a schedule for a thermostat. Invest in a really good thermostat. I personally like certain brands. Nest is one of them. It's a really good brand. So invest in some of those things that you can program, that you connect them to your cell phone, they're connected to your Wi-Fi, and then you can set those things to work according to what it is. Even when you're on vacation, you can even set it up to consume a little energy because they're just important. They just really help you tremendously. And again, you're not sacrificing your comfort, but you are definitely helping with your pocket. And of course, when it comes to water, that you can definitely implement certain things, although water is more affordable and that's not cost prohibited, but you can definitely implement certain things when it comes to water. There is like the tankless water heaters that can definitely help you a lot, although they're pricey, and also repairs and parts are on the high end of things, but that can definitely help you with the things that you have going on. So I hope this video was very, very helpful today. As you see, I'm on a whole different setup, not in my office. So I hope this video was helpful. Do me a big favor. If you like this kind of content, click on that like button. That helps me tremendously. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, feel free to do it. Every week I come with good videos. This is all about easy upsizing. When the time has come for you to get into a bigger home, this is the channel you want to stay here. And if you really want to set up a time to speak with me, a consultation, because you're moving to this area, Maryland, DC, and Virginia, feel free to click on the Zoom link and we can have a video consultation so that we can definitely talk more about your wants and needs when it comes to real estate. With that in mind, that's the end of it. Have a great day. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.